Simon Squibb. What's your dream? Find your passion, love your work, build a richer life. Many people move through their lives feeling like something is missing. Days blur together, routines take over, and philosophical questions, what do I really want, and what am I here to do, get pushed aside by practical obligations. Yet, beneath all the responsibilities, there's often a sense of possibility, nudges that are directing you toward a life that feels more meaningful. That sense isn't a fantasy or a flaw, it's a signal. And when you pay attention, you start to see that a dream isn't reserved for a lucky few. It's a universal, democratic guide, ready to shape the choices you make. You may already feel hints of that compass at play. Perhaps you catch yourself imagining a different rhythm to your day, a different way of contributing to the world, or a life that aligns more closely with your values. Such tension doesn't mean your dream is impossible. It simply means you haven't yet taken the steps to address it. The path forward doesn't require perfect timing, extraordinary talent, or a blank slate. It does, however, demand curiosity, honesty, courage, and persistence. Fortunately, these qualities are ones that we can all develop and foster. In this blink, you'll learn how a personal dream becomes a source of energy, what stops many people from dreaming boldly, how to uncover an authentic purpose through 3 essential questions, and how to transform that purpose into real-world action by building momentum and committing fully to the journey ahead. Ready to start living your dreams? Then let's get started. Why dream? Uncovering our personal dream can feel like plugging into a hidden power source, one that lights us up from the inside rather than pushes us along from the outside. There's a profound shift that comes when we stop orienting ourselves around obligation and start turning toward aspiration. Suddenly, the day has a different texture. Decisions feel easier, and the energy that once went into resisting reality or fantasizing about freedom can flow in far more productive and purposeful directions. A dream creates clarity in a way few other things can. Once we know what we're moving toward, the daily grind becomes a little less burdensome. We're no longer living by rules we never agreed to or measuring our worth against expectations we didn't set. Earning a paycheck starts to feel less like labor for an anonymous beneficiary and more like a step toward a personally defined destination. That sense of ownership cultivates discipline naturally, not as a forced habit, but as a byproduct of caring deeply about where we're heading. Dreams also hold a unique emotional charge. They inspire transformation long before any practical plan is in place. When we voice what we truly want, something subtle yet unmistakable happens. Our posture shifts, our eyes brighten, and our words carry a new kind of conviction. This is why declarations of dreams resonate so profoundly in history. They speak to the part of us that responds to possibility, not performance reviews. A dream paints a picture of a better version of our life, and that picture has the power to pull us forward. What makes a dream even more powerful is its longevity. Goals and resolutions are frequently fragile contracts, easily broken, easily abandoned. A dream behaves more like an anchor. It's big enough to absorb missteps, pauses, and pivots. It doesn't crumble when circumstances get rough because it was designed to outlast adversity. People who've endured unimaginable challenges often point to their dream as the thing that remained untouched, even when everything else was stripped away. Another remarkable quality of a dream is its ability to turn pain into direction. A dream can blend past wounds with future hopes, shaping them into a call to action. Even though a dream technically represents a future state, it's something we can step into immediately by making the smallest possible start. That first move, however humble, connects the present moment with the future we're trying to create. Perhaps the most encouraging truth of all is that dreams are available to everyone. They don't depend on credentials, ideal circumstances, or even wealth. People have discovered life-defining dreams while homeless, grieving, unemployed, and otherwise at rock bottom. No matter who we are, where we are, or our current reality, the ability to imagine a future worth striving for is our universal birthright.
Why don't we dream? The first major challenge en route to our dream is clearing the internal and external obstacles that prevent it from flourishing. Many of those obstacles stem from ideas so widespread that they feel like truth, even though they subtly steer us away from what we truly want. These myths form the backdrop of childhood, school, and work, so they rarely get questioned. But if a dream is going to thrive, these inherited assumptions need to be examined and gently pushed aside so there's enough room for something more meaningful to take root. One of the most persistent myths is the belief that sheer effort will eventually deliver success. Many of us are taught that the harder we hustle, the luckier we'll become, as though effort alone contains some magical guarantee. The trouble is that plenty of hardworking people fail, and many burn themselves out chasing goals they never chose in the first place. When hard work becomes the prize, rather than the pathway, it crowds out curiosity and creativity, two critical ingredients for success in today's world. Another myth is that failure is catastrophic. School trains us to think in terms of pass or fail, right or wrong, talented or not talented. That binary thinking follows many of us into adulthood, where avoiding embarrassment or judgment becomes more important than experimenting and learning. In reality, any seasoned entrepreneur or creative could list a string of failed attempts that shaped their eventual success. Failure provides information about timing, strategy, or people, for instance, that no textbook can teach. The key is articulating the exact fear hiding beneath the word failure. Whether it's the fear of being rejected, judged, or financially exposed, and then addressing those fears directly.
Modern life offers another seductive myth, that avoiding hard things is reasonable, even wise. Convenience has removed many forms of discomfort, making challenge feel optional. But dreams don't grow in pillow-padded environments. They require the willingness to do things that, at first, feel awkward and unfamiliar. What's more, hard things often seem far harder in our minds than they are in reality, and tackling them builds the confidence we need to take the next step, then the next, and the next. A final myth promises happiness through possessions. Many people chase material markers of success because they seem to signal achievement or prestige. Yet, possessions often come with hidden costs, financial pressures, physical maintenance, and psychological stress. Expensive status symbols are more likely to stymie our freedom rather than extend it. Objects lose their shine quickly, and ultimately, none of them lead toward long-term purpose. Letting go of these inherited myths clears space for a dream to grow unencumbered. When we step away from cultural expectations and move toward what feels right and true for us, we create the conditions for real progress to begin. Defining the dream. Once the old myths have started to fall away, what remains is a clean slate on which a genuine dream can finally take shape. But that dream won't appear by itself or by accident. It requires some honest self-inquiry. By turning inward and examining our emotions, history, and instincts, we can uncover the elements that make our dreams both meaningful and sustainable. In this way, we aren't inventing something out of thin air. We're recognizing what has been there all along. The first guiding question is simple. What do you like and dislike? This is where the early contours of a dream begin to form. Everyone has activities that energize them and others that drain them, yet it's easy to dismiss those preferences as trivial. taking them seriously changes everything. Likes point toward causes, environments, and tasks that naturally spark commitment and engagement, while dislikes reveal what undermines motivation and joy. These clues become the raw materials for a dream that can withstand setbacks. If you're struggling to articulate what you like, imagine a day entirely free from social and financial pressure. What would you be drawn to doing? Starting from enjoyment creates momentum that doesn't require force. The next question digs deeper. What is your pain? Pain shapes us far more than we often realize. Looking closely at past wounds or difficult experiences isn't about dwelling on hardship. It's about understanding why certain yearnings feel so compelling. Pain can quickly turn a dream into a driving force. It provides a kind of emotional gravity that pulls someone forward when enthusiasm fades. Many individuals who achieve extraordinary things do so because they're trying to heal something in themselves or prevent others from experiencing similar hurt. Trauma, shame, neglect, injustice, or disappointment can each become powerful anchors that lend invaluable weight to a dream. Recognizing and attaching a specific, motivating pain to a dream is perhaps the most poignant way of transmuting our past suffering. Then comes the final question: how can I help others? This is where a personal dream truly transforms into something that extends beyond ourselves. Passion and pain provide direction, but impact gives a dream its longevity and legacy. Thinking about how our interests and experiences can serve others forces a shift in perspective, from "what do I want?" to "what do I want and what problem can I solve?" That shift is essential for any dream that involves building a venture, rallying support, or creating value. When a dream aligns with real-world needs, it becomes far less fragile. Answering these 3 questions isn't a quick one-and-done exercise. It's a process of becoming more and more honest with ourselves. As our responses refine and start to coalesce, what's left is a dream that's authentic, resilient, and genuinely worth pursuing.
Living the dream. As a dream becomes clearer and more tangible, the final challenge is turning those intentions into actions. This is where many people stumble, not because they or their dream is flawed, but because taking action frequently requires moving beyond comfort, the familiar, and our usual routines. The first step is freedom: financial, mental, and creative. Financial constraints often hold the strongest grip. Many people feel tied to jobs they've outgrown because of mortgages, car repayments, and the sense that their lifestyle must follow an ever-upward trajectory. The shift begins when we recognize that buying back time is more valuable than pursuing and maintaining status symbols that drain our resources. Cutting costs, shedding unnecessary possessions, and reducing financially burdensome commitments create the breathing room needed to focus. Financial freedom isn't about having piles of money, but about freeing up the space for our dream to get a foothold. Mental freedom is just as important. Doubts, such as the common myths we unpacked earlier, can creep in quickly and compellingly. Training ourselves to speak differently changes our inner landscape. Using language that assumes instead of hopes, "I'm doing this," rather than "I'd like to do that someday," reinforces commitment and our aspirational identity. Then comes idea freedom, which involves proudly and publicly airing our dream out in the open. Many people fear criticism or the awkwardness of sharing their vision, but keeping an idea private limits its growth. Telling others about our dream invites help, insight, and opportunities that we'd never otherwise discover were available to us. Family, friends, and even casual acquaintances often become unexpected allies once they know what we're aiming for. With these freedoms in place, it's time to make a plan. A 6-month window is often enough time to get our dream off the ground. During this phase, Our primary goal is to find our first customer. This moment changes everything. It not only boosts our confidence, but also provides real-time data and proves that our idea has legs. And inevitably, one customer leads to the appetite for more. Eventually, we'll arrive at the critical turning point, going all in. A dream supported only by spare hours rarely realizes its full potential. Absolute commitment communicates seriousness to customers, collaborators, and potential investors. It also creates the constructive pressure that sharpens focus and accelerates learning. At some stage, the only way forward is a wholehearted leap.
Taking action is what ultimately transforms a personal dream into a lived reality. When we finally do commit, our dream can start to reshape the world around us.
In this blank to What's Your Dream? By Simon Squibb, you've learned that having a clear purpose changes everything. When you uncover the dream that sets your heart on fire, channels your lived experience, and has the potential to make a positive impact on others, it becomes more than a goal. It becomes a source of real energy that carries you forward. Obstacles, doubts, and setbacks feel smaller when your actions are guided by something deeply personal and motivating. The journey isn't about avoiding challenges or waiting for perfect timing. It's about freeing yourself, learning through failure, and taking deliberate steps that turn ideas into reality. Each small action builds momentum, confidence grows, and progress compounds.
By daring to define what you truly want and committing fully, you create a life shaped by choice rather than circumstance. Open the door to a future where purpose and fulfillment intersect, and discover that the life of your dreams can be the life you live. Okay, that's it for this Blink. We hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please take the time to leave us a rating. We always appreciate your feedback. See you in the next Blink!